For a more detailed list of tips for making pizza in your oven, you can refer to any number of good books out there on pizza making and wood-fired oven cooking. We've also provided a list of frequently asked questions on pizza making that you can download from our website, EcoQue.com. Hi, I'm Tim from EcoQue. Now that your oven is assembled and you've done a break-in burn, it's time to start cooking. In this video, we're going to give you some important tips on how to make pizza. First of all, you're going to want to make your dough a day ahead and let it rest overnight in the fridge. Here's how we make dough for cooking with our oven. It's maybe a little wetter dough than some, but remember your oven's hot, dry stone will draw that moisture out, leaving you with a lighter, crispier crust. To make our pizza dough, we're going to use regular baking flour, semolina flour, yeast, salt, and honey, along with water that's at room temperature. We'll add that water at room temperature in 2 stages. In the first stage, we'll mix the ingredients together for about 5 to 7 minutes. Then we'll rest the dough for 5 minutes and add the rest of the water about 2 tablespoons at a time. The first step is to add all of your dry ingredients together along with the honey. Then add the first portion of water to the bowl and start your mixer. Stop once the dough forms a nice tight ball. Now that the dough is rested for about 5 minutes, it's time to incorporate the rest of the water into the dough at about 2 tablespoons at a time. Once the water is fully incorporated, form the dough into a ball and place it in a well-oiled bowl where it can easily double in size. Let it rest in the bowl for about 5 minutes and then turn it. You'll want to let it rest for about another 5 minutes before you cover the bowl. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and let it rise overnight in the refrigerator. The next day, you want to get a robust fire going in your firebox. The ideal temperature for the stone will be in the 450 to 550 range. Initially, work towards taking your oven up to 500 degrees and then adjust your temperature up or down from there. One of the things that you can do while your oven is heating up is pre-roast off all your veggies that you'll be using for toppings. Pre-roast your vegetables like onions, mushrooms, peppers, summer squash, asparagus, etc. on a cookie sheet with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper. Spread out your veggies on the cookie sheet, sprinkle some olive oil, salt, and pepper on them and blend. Place the cookie sheet right in the oven on the stone and keep an eye on them. We've let our pizza dough rest overnight in the fridge. We've taken it out of the fridge and let it rise again at room temperature on the countertop. We're going to knead the dough for a few minutes and divide it into 3 or 4 balls of dough for making individual pizzas. Separate them in a pan and let them double in size over about 2 hours. Now it's time to work the smaller pieces of dough into individual pizzas. Use a cutting board with some flour on it and work the dough out with your hands, letting it stretch into a shape that can be used for the pizza. When you're ready to transfer it over to your pizza peel, spread some of the semolina flour that you have left on the peel. Cornmeal will work as well. You want to stretch the dough out into the desired size on the peel. This first pizza is going to have an olive oil base, so I'm going to sprinkle some olive oil onto the stretched out dough and add my toppings. I'm adding a little bit of pancetta, some veggies, and a little bit of salami. We're going to add a couple of different types of cheese today. We're using buffalo mozzarella and a little bit of grated Parmesan. We're going to wait to add those cheeses until the pizza has begun to brown a little. Your pizza should easily move around on the peel before you place it in the oven. Place a little bit more semolina flour on the stone inside your oven and slide your pizza in. For the next pizza, we're going to make kind of a margarita-style tomato-based pizza. Don't overdo it with the tomato sauce. A very little goes a long way. We're also going to add some fresh basil and maybe a few veggies if you like. Now that our pizzas have set up a little, it's time to add the cheese. Now that our pizzas are done, we're going to add some uncooked toppings like fresh tomatoes, a little fresh basil, a little bit more olive oil, and a touch of sea salt if you like. You can also add a touch more grated Parmesan. Now they're ready to cut and eat.